Can you imagine an alternate world where everyone is born with Down syndrome, and trisomy 21 is considered the norm? In this inverted society, a child is born who breaks with the established norm. The boy does not have Down syndrome, but in this world, that is the most abnormal thing there is. Will this young man be able to adapt to a society where everyone sees him as the odd one out? In this universe, the entire planet is populated exclusively by people with Down syndrome, without exception. One day, a doctor receives a very happy married couple in his office. The woman is pregnant, and after conducting a series of detailed tests, the doctor gives them some shocking news: the baby growing in her womb will be born without Down syndrome. No one can believe this news, and with great calm and empathy, the doctor explains the process to them. When two people love each other and give each other a lot of love, they can create a new life, but sometimes that new little person turns out differently than expected. He explains that, as parents, they have the option to decide whether to continue with the pregnancy or to terminate it. However, the couple is filled with unconditional love for their baby, and they choose to keep him, eager to welcome him into the world. The months pass and the big moment arrives. In the delivery room, a team of doctors and nurses gather, all with expressions of amazement and curiosity, as they are about to witness a truly exceptional event. Just at that crucial moment, the father bursts into the room, exhausted, as he had been at work and rushed to not miss the birth. The baby arrives safely into the world, and the family happily returns home. However, the news spreads quickly, and curious neighbors peer through their windows, craning their necks to catch a glimpse of the child who was born different. It is as if an alien had been born into their community. During a visit, the doctor warns the parents that while the baby is small, the differences will be subtle and barely noticeable, but as he grows and develops, those distinctions will become more obvious and pronounced. Despite this, the parents are determined. They will raise their son with the deepest love they can give him, teaching him everything they know about life, values, and the customs of their world. The years fly by, and soon the day arrives when the little boy, named Eric, must begin his formal education. On his first day of school, Eric enters the classroom and is met with a chaotic scene. All his classmates are piled up on the floor, tangled in a giant knot formed by their shoelaces. The teacher, completely baffled, has no idea how to solve this problem. No one in that society seems to have mastered the art of tying their shoes. Thanks to his special abilities, Eric immediately understands the situation and deftly untangles the knots one by one, freeing his classmates before the incredulous gaze of the teachers and adults at the school, who are amazed. However, Eric is not only able to untie knots, he can even tie shoelaces blindfolded, as if it were a magic trick. In a world where no one else has this ability, Eric becomes a sensation. His classmates form long lines during recess, begging him to tie their shoes, and he becomes popular worldwide. One night, his parents decide to take Eric to an exciting event, a boxing match. However, in this upside-down world, the rules are completely different. Here, it's not about knocking out your opponents with punches, but rather victory is achieved through hugs. The first to give a warm and sincere hug to their opponent wins the battle. For Eric, this is absolutely strange, and he is disappointed to see that no one is hitting each other. When it's his turn, Eric faces an opponent much bigger than himself. However, the little boy is not afraid and is ready to attack his opponent. As soon as the bell rings, he jumps to his feet and, in an unexpected move, headbutts his opponent directly in the stomach, knocking him to the ground. The entire audience is shocked, unable to understand why did that and behave so violently. No one in the history of that society had ever seen anything like it, and the referee, paralyzed, asks what happened. They cannot process that someone would want to win the fight with a headbutt instead of a hug. Paramedics quickly enter the ring, but instead of attending to the fallen fighter, they lift Eric onto a stretcher and take him away for examination. They don't understand if he is crazy or perhaps has a serious problem in his head, and after a round of exhaustive tests, the doctor announces the diagnosis: Eric has lost a chromosome. The nurses examine him from head to toe in search of it, but they can't find it anywhere. His parents, desperate, search the house and look in every corner, looking in the furniture and among the clothes, but they can't find it either. In an absurd attempt to cure him, the doctors try drastic methods, such as tying him to a rock and throwing him into the sea, but fortunately they fail in their attempt, as no one in that world knows how to tie knots properly. The years go by, and Eric grows into a young adult. The world, designed for people with needs different from his, becomes too small for him. There is no infrastructure adapted to him, so society takes special measures to make him feel comfortable. They assign him an exclusive parking space, just for him, and design a unique bathroom customized for his special abilities. Every time he uses it, people applaud excitedly, as if he had achieved something incredible. They treat him with exaggerated respect, as if he were made of glass, although Eric feels increasingly confused and isolated. He is no longer interested in playing or interacting like everyone else, he prefers to observe from afar. One day, he sees someone trip and hurt themselves because their shoelaces were untied, but he decides not to help, fearing that they will continue to label him as the town weirdo. He notices how everything is reversed. His parents' displays of affection are pure and tender, but he feels alone, with no one to share that kind of affection with. No girl looks at him with romantic interest, as his physical appearance makes him stand out, as if he did not belong to the same species. This loneliness leads him into a deep crisis, and Eric realizes that he is trapped in a body that does not fit in with the world around him. He seeks professional help and goes to a psychologist, hoping to find answers, but when he doesn't find them, he makes a radical decision: to undergo plastic surgery to become someone normal, like everyone else, with features that fit society's norm. The day of the operation arrives, and Eric waits nervously in the patient room. Suddenly, his gaze meets that of a woman who has physical features similar to his, with a different complexion, and who is also there for surgery. She suffers from the same dilemma: she cannot find her place, she cannot find her soulmate, and sadness consumes her. They stare at each other, and in an instant, a magical connection arises, love at first sight, as if it were a fairy tale. At that moment, they both realize that surgery would be a huge mistake. They quickly hide under a stretcher, evading the doctors who are searching everywhere for them. For the first time in his life, Eric doesn't feel alone. He has found his soulmate, someone with whom to share hugs, laughter, and a special space just for the two of them. She is even assigned a parking space next to Eric's. Soon, the couple begins to help others by tying their shoelaces, as people assume that this is their innate specialty. One day, while Eric is examining a shoe, he notices some adhesive tape that has been accidentally stuck to it. This gives him a brilliant idea, and he designs the first shoes without laces. Instead, they use Velcro straps that stick easily. With this revolutionary invention, the young man promises to eliminate tripping and accidents forever, and excitedly presents his idea to the Grand Council of Investors. At first, the investors are confused and refuse to change, but after practical tests, where they demonstrate how simple and effective it is, they give their unanimous approval to mass produce them and distribute them to the entire population. Almost instantly, Eric's shoes become a massive phenomenon. Everyone wants a pair, stores sell out within hours, and no one wants to be left behind. Eric's parents are very proud and overwhelmed with joy. Their son, with his unique and special abilities, has improved the lives of countless people and earned universal recognition. Shortly thereafter, Eric's wife announces that she is pregnant, and he, now an excited father-to-be, feels on top of the world. He has found his happy place, and no one looks at him with strangeness or pity anymore. In this way, a person considered different, with abilities that seemed out of place, manages to transform society as a whole, making the world a better and safer place for everyone with his unique way of seeing things.